Relative clauses versus reduced relative clauses. A simple explanation. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to tackle an essential element of English grammar: relative clauses and their streamlined counterparts, reduced relative clauses. By the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of these two and the differences between them. First off, let's remind ourselves what relative clauses are. Relative clauses are types of dependent clauses that provide additional information about a noun in a sentence. They are usually introduced by relative pronouns like who, which, that, whom, and where. For example, consider the sentence: "The book, which is on the table, is mine." The phrase, "which is on the table," is a relative clause, giving us more information about the book. Now that we understand relative clauses, let's introduce the concept of reduced relative clauses. These are simply relative clauses that have been shortened or reduced in some way, typically by removing the relative pronoun and the verb be, or by changing a verb into its ing or ed form. Let's take our previous example and reduce it. The book, on the table, is mine. Here, we've removed the relative pronoun, which, and the verb, is. But the sentence still makes sense, and it conveys the same information in a more succinct way. It's important to understand the difference between relative clauses and reduced relative clauses. Relative clauses often provide more detailed and specific information, and are more common in formal writing. They can give essential information that changes the meaning of a sentence, or extra information that can be removed without changing the overall meaning. Reduced relative clauses, on the other hand, are more about keeping our language simple and to the point. They still give extra information about a noun but in a more succinct way. They're common in informal speech and writing because they help us keep our sentences shorter and more fluid. And that's it for today's lesson. Now you know the difference between relative clauses and reduced relative clauses. Keep practicing and try to identify these in the English you read and listen to every day. Remember, practice makes perfect, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Until next time, happy learning!